Hi pretty people, welcome to Bunda Tarot. So for today's pick a card reading or pick a little girly reading, I wanted to take a in-depth look at the next like 3 months of the end of 2025. So we're gonna take an in-depth look at like September, October, October, November, December. I can count. And we're gonna do a overview of each month, and then take an in-depth look at like your personal life for that month, your love life, and then work life. This is kind of what I do for like my monthly readings, so I'm just kind of gonna do like 3 monthly readings all at once, sort of. Yeah. So that's what we got going on today. So we have 3 little girlies to choose from. They're my Peach Riot little baddies. And I have like, I'm pretty sure it's a full set. So for group 1, we have little Frankie. She's so cute. Her little chain belt like moves. It's adorable. I love her. So that's Frankie for group 1. Group 2 is little Miss Gigi. And then group 3 is Miss Poppy. So, take all the time you need to see which girly you're feeling drawn to the most, and I'll go ahead and see you in your reading. Hi group 1, if you chose little Miss Frankie, Miss Cutie Pie, then this is gonna be your reading. This is the one thing I don't like about my setup, is that you can't see the little cuties that you choose. But that's what we're gonna have to do. So I went ahead and pre-shuffled all of the like general overview cards for your month, just to save on time so you don't have to watch that. And then we're gonna use a new deck. I haven't used this yet. It's the Anime Food Tarot. And then the Every Little Thing You Do Is Magic Tarot for the like more specific parts of each month. So, cool. Let's go ahead and hop right on into it. So, for October, we have the 3rd chakra with Archangel Shemuel. I think I'm saying that maybe right. Who's to say? Probably him. Number 37. And then we have Chiron with healing, insecurity, wounds, vulnerabilities, deep-seated pain, teaching, powers, spiritual strength, difficulties, guilt, transmuting, healing others. The Star. He's so cute. Devotion with Saturn in Libra. I think that's Saturn. And older woman, dealings a relationship with an older woman. Interesting. So probably healing from a relationship you have with an older woman, or like there could be an older figure who's helping you through that, which could quite literally be like a therapist or someone. Or you could even be like seeing through like media examples of ways to heal from past wounds. So that could be like you see a TV show and someone's going through exactly what you're going through, or they say like a line or some like words of advice and you're like, whoa cowboy, like holy shit, that hits. And you're able to kind of like take that, write it down, and then really sit with it during the month of October. And it seems like with this devotion card being here, I think it is something that's very purposeful. The whole like healing thing, especially with like the star, because the star can also represent healing, but it's healing in a sense where like it's not heavy. It doesn't feel like this like weight or this thing, this task you have to take on. It's definitely something that you're like, yay, I'm finally working through this. Yay, I finally have the energy, the space, the time to be able to like really do something about this. I'm so excited that I get to do something about this and not just let it be something that hangs over me. And I think that's really, really great. With the solar plexus chakra being here, pause, hold on, let me review my chakras. It's been a hot minute and I don't really work with them. Solar plexus chakra. Personal power, self-confidence, identity, and also digestion. Cool. Yeah, chill. So maybe like whatever your healing has to do with personal power and identity and your own like confidence and personal transformation and realizing like how far you've come, especially if it was like someone in particular had a really negative impact on how you view yourself and your sense of identity, and maybe they like stifled your sense of identity and wouldn't really let you explore or create or like do something about it, or like figure out who you were outside of, you know, like family dynamics or who other people expected you to be. And so October is going to be a really good month for you to finally feel the freedom to be able to do that. And I think that's really beautiful. And I think that's really lovely. Hello, Cleo. Cleo thinks so too. Yeah, we do have 2 7s here. Well, technically 3, but it's like 3 7 and then 1 7 with like 7. I'm sorry about her. You know, 37 and then 17 and then just 7. But it's like going down, which is interesting. Descending order. So maybe you're taking like a top-down approach. Yeah. Hello, gorgeous. I love you. Yay! Okay, cool. So that's the overview for the month. Let's get into specifics. I'm actually excited to use this because it's gonna make me really hungry. It's so cute. Okay. I like haven't used this at all yet. I'm quite excited. So let's go ahead and take a look at your personal life, since that's kind of, I think, going to be the main like interest for the month of October. So pile 1's personal life in October. What's that going to look like? How's that gonna go? The top one. We have the 3 of Pentacles with yakiniku. Bat food. I'm learning Japanese. And then we'll get one more card from this deck. Okay. Oh, that was fast. The Oracle of Wands. I think that's the Queen of Wands. Let's double check, because it's been a while since I've used this. Did you toot? Did you toot, or was that your belly? Guys, I think she tooted. That's so cute. Okay, wait, so there's Elder. I think that's... Wait, what the hell? Wait. Oh. Apprentice. Okay, so that's Page. Champion is Knight. Oracle is Queen, and then Elder is King. Jesus Christ. Okay. I love when people are different, and it's a really cool use of creativity. Okay. So, the 3 of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands. Yeah, like, there could be people around you who help you to feel really empowered and, like, give you a lot of words of advice on different ways that maybe you could take better care of yourself. And I'm gonna say, maybe at first that advice is, like, not wanted. It might initially be like, who are you to tell me how I should be living my life? Like, you don't need to be telling me these things. I didn't ask. But then, you know, unfortunately, a week or two passes and you're like, fuck. No. Rats, they had a point. Crap, they were right. And then maybe you have to apologize to them, be like, sorry, I didn't want to hear it at the time, even though you had a point. I apologize for reacting however I did, for not being willing to listen to you and hear you out, because you had a point and you were right. I'm sorry. Especially with like this giant butterfly being on the Queen of Wands. Also, black cat representation. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I think there is just going to be this lovely like transformation that you feel like is occurring when it comes to your confidence. Also, like, there might be the more you work through whatever this like healing is, the more you discover yourself and your identity and who you are at your core, rather than like the expectations that everyone else holds for you or like over you, I want to say. It could unlock a lot of like creativity inside of you and like willingness to try new things and like do more. And if you're like, it's kind of this idea of like, oh well, I'm discovering these things about myself, so like what else is there? Like what else do I like? Like, do I like these foods, or was I just told that I hated these foods as a child, so I just never tried them, you know? And then you try it and you're like, this is I want to say bussin'. I don't say that word, but like, this food is really bussin'. Wow. You know? Hey, try new food. Yeah. A lot more, you know, like confidence. It's kind of just like a reiteration of what I was saying before. Period. That looks so good. Okay. Is there anything else with that one? No. Okay, cool. Let's look at the love life. Final one's love life in October. How's that gonna go? The star con peito. They're little cute guys. It looks like a candy. It's extra sweet. What else we got? That's a beautiful card. Unicorn. Okay, we have two. Do you want to be upright or reversed? Because they came out like upside down, reversed. I'll take them reversed and then we'll just see what comes through. So we have the star, the Six of Cups in reverse, and then the Eight of Wands in reverse. That one, and then here we go, in case you were curious. Honestly, also with the star coming out in like the love portion as well as the overview of the month, your love life might be taking it feels like a sort of pause, like a time to rest and get some maybe like much needed reprieve from, I don't know, just like, it's, how do I freaking put that in words? The feeling I'm getting is like someone who's constantly like going and going and going and like wanting and wanting and wanting, or like craving, and then like or needing, or like constantly like needing to move, or like searching for something, and then in the month of October it's like finally like stop, like taking the time to stop running around like a chicken with its head cut off, and then just like be still and reflect and pause and like almost catch your breath a little bit and take a moment to look back at like everything that happened in the past and see maybe like how is it impacting you, especially if like the main thing you're dealing with, because I don't know, with Chiron and healing and like older woman, that was giving more like family type healing. It could be romantic, but I'm getting more family, and then taking the time to realize like how have like family dynamics in the way maybe you were like shown love as a kid or not shown love as a kid? How has that impacted how you go about your like romantic relationships and situationships, whatever, and how you like search for love elsewhere? And then maybe it's a little enlightening. Whee! There's a lot of just reflection going on in the month of October for you, and a lot of healing and taking time, moving slower, reflecting, you know, kind of analyzing, but also not to like pick things apart, but just gain a better, like wider understanding. It's like trying to understand the broad strokes of how things have impacted you rather than looking at like the super fine details, because that could make you easily like too caught up in it and too lost in it. Yeah. Yeah. Is there anything else there? I don't think so. Okay, cool. So that's that. And then work or school or education. How's that going to be in the month of October for pile 9? Okay, so that's 4. Oh, I just get thanks. Page of Swords. Little kitchen helper. 10 of Cups. Okay, so I know that says Pizza Man, but there's no way that's how it's pronounced. Anyway. Career or schooling, education. That's so much. Maybe there's like a lot going on in your career or like school in the month of October. 5 of Pentacles. Yeah. It's kind of like maybe feeling a little burnt out, or maybe feeling like there's too much on your plate. And not being able to have enough energy to delegate like elsewhere, especially if you are really focused on just like other areas of your life and you have a lot going on in your personal life, and there's like realizations happening and like, whoa, that's why this happened, and that's that, and that's, whoa, I'm getting a broader understanding of myself and who I am as a person. And then it's like, here's some responsibilities you have to tend to, here's some fucking homework, here's an extra project for you, and here's the due date, oh, it's a lot sooner than you wish it was, oh. It's like, oh yeah. Right, there's other things going on in my life that I get to pay attention to. That's so cool. Wow, that's so awesome. That's kind of the vibe. It's like work or school might feel like it gets a little neglected during the month of October, which like may or may not come to bite you in the butt. I guess we'll see in November and December, right? Yeah, but like you're doing maybe like the bare minimum of what's required of you. You're still getting stuff done, you know, with little helper, Page of Swords. It's just not like you're not like doing the most. You're not like necessarily like wowing anybody with how many extra steps you're taking. They're saying like take 3 steps, and you're like, okay, cool, I'm gonna take 3 steps exactly, and they're gonna be my size steps. You might want me to take big steps. I'm taking my size steps because you didn't specify. Malicious compliance. That's funny. Yeah, okay, chill. There's just not much of like a focus on that in October. Okay, cool. So that's October for you. Do I want to put cards back? No, I'm just gonna leave them out. Okay. October. So, November. How long have we been going for? 18 minutes? Chill. Just so I can get an estimation of how long this is going to take. My sister tried to FaceTime me. Even though I'm on Do Not Disturb, Diva. Okay, so we have dog barking, advice from a friend, status with Jupiter in Taurus, the Hermit in reverse, Aries with the competitor, assertive, competitive, impulsive, loud, aggressive, action, courageous, dominant, rebellious, dynamic, impatient, quick-tempered, ruler of the first house, and then patience. Pause while I rearrange these. It's funny we have Aries and patience here. How does that work? Okay. So I think November might be more of an outgoing month for you, where you're able to kind of like get out there and do more. I think you're really wanting to get out of the house and just like see what's out there to do. You could be hanging out with friends more. You could just be seeing what's out and about in the community, connecting with people more. And it could be like small things like, let me go to the library. Let me go to my local library and just be somewhere that's not home. Or browse Barnes and Noble. That's what I like to do when I need to get out of the house. Go to the grocery store, unless it's like it's busy hours, and then maybe it's like really overstimulating. Maybe going to the grocery store when it's not busy. Stuff like that. Like just really needing to connect with people more, even if it is just like strangers. Yeah. And I think it's because you're feeling really good about yourself with like this Jupiter in Taurus. And feeling like much more confident in who you are, and I want to say like your approach to the world or something like that. Interesting. So it might be more of like a busier month for you, but it's because you're like actively choosing to make it busy. With the patience card, maybe there's like scheduling conflicts, or like you're wanting to hang out with your friends and they're like, sorry, work, sorry, responsibilities, and so you're having to like wait for that and then find ways to kind of just entertain yourself. Yeah. You're so pretty, girl. I love you. Yeah, cool. So I think that's all I'm getting for the overview. So, group one's personal life in November. How's that gonna go? How's that gonna look? We have the Two of Swords in reverse. Tonjiru? That guy. How's their personal life gonna be in November? What other info can we get? Two again. I'll take them. Four of Wands and the Emperor. Period. Period. Yeah! And the Emperor's Aries energy. Period. Which we had before. Yeah, I think there's like you're being very proactive, and you're being the one to like make all of the decisions and like schedule everything, bring things together. Maybe you even like with the Four of Wands schedule some like group hangouts, or like little like parties or something like that. Just something where you're able to like, you know, get your group of friends together and celebrate literally anything. You can come up with an excuse to celebrate. It could be somebody's birthday. It could be like, yay, we all took that exam and it's over, woohoo. It could be, I saw a butterfly and I was really excited about it. Let's get together and have a good time. Literally anything. But with the Two of Swords in reverse and the Emperor, I really like those together because it really does show that, like, you are not, like, waiting for permission for anything, and you're not waiting to, like, I want to say, like, understand anything. Like, there is kind of a lack of patience maybe in the month of November. Hello, pretty. But I think that's not necessarily going to be a bad thing. It's just kind of being tired of, like, waiting for permission and realizing that, like, you no longer really have to wait for permission from anybody. You can just go after things and do them yourself because you want to. And also finding, like, a home within yourself and finding that level of comfort within yourself. I think it's going to be really nice. Yay! Lovely. Okay. Excuse me, Cleo. So, love life in November. We have Temperance with chocolate curry bun. And the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. It's kind of like a continuation of the energy of October, I think. Of like things kind of like being paused. But like because November feels a bit more like fast paced than it did. So you didn't want that? Okay. In October, there might be like some level of frustration associated with that. But also, I think you've kind of like, by this point, learned the lesson of, excuse me, things take time and that's okay. And I'm learning to be okay with that. I'm learning to like, find things to do and find things to enjoy in the space between, you know? What's that? Is it The Plan by the Front Bottoms? In parentheses, fuck jobs, period. He says, like, I like the time it takes to get somewhere. If you know what I mean, raise your hand in the air. Like, you just don't care. Yeah, like, that's kind of what Temperance is making me feel. Like, enjoying the journey. Instead of just the destination. But it's like, it's not like the journey in, you know, Lord of the Rings style. It's like, in between spaces, you know? And enjoying, like, the time you get to spend there, rather than feeling like you need to rush constantly to the next thing. It's kind of leans into the idea of presence, I think, and being really like locked into the present moment and enjoying it for what it is, rather than constantly being stuck in the past or constantly like trying to think too far ahead in the future. Yeah. So maybe like love life, like not super duper like active in the month of November, but also like being okay with that. interesting. Okay. Work and career and school in November. How's that gonna go for pile 1? The Fool, pickled plum, onigiri. 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 Yum. Okay, cool. Okay. Work, school, 10 of Swords. There's the catch up, right? Playing catch up. So with the 10 of Swords and the Fool, due to maybe like just a little bit of negligence in October, there might be a lot going on in November, and that might lead you to feel very like overwhelmed and maybe even like a little betrayed by your past self, because it's like you knew what you were getting into, like you knew what you were doing. It's not like you were completely like oblivious to the fact that like there were a couple of things that maybe you were putting off for like a later date. But with the Fool also being here, please don't do this to my couch. It's kind of like maybe there's a little bit of naivety attached to it, and maybe you weren't expecting like this much of a workload, or these particular consequences. Like you're expecting consequences, but like not like capital C consequences, you know? It's the 10 of Swords, like it's not gonna be fun. I'm sorry. I wish everything was sunshine and rainbows, but then we take sunshine and rainbows for granted to be like, wow, it's that again. Yeah. Another interpretation is also like perhaps trying out new skills or like learning new skills, but then being sad that you're not immediately good at it, as if it's not a completely new skill to you. Or like there's a new topic or something that you're having to learn or pick up, and it's like, yeah, I'll get that, no problem. And then you get it with problem. So, and having to deal with that. Yeah, okay, so that's November for ya. And then lastly, December. So we have indecision with number 8. Moon with emotions, moods, intuition, personal needs, Monday, Cancer, the unconscious, comfort, feelings, family, home, reflecting yin and femininity. And then we have the World. I love this cat. I love cats. Okay. Optimism with the moon in Sagittarius. And grapes. Time to go out and have fun. Great. Great. Like that makes sense with the World and optimism here. Yeah, okay, so in December, there might be sort of this like, pause while I Google a word to make sure I'm using it right. I love doing that. Proclivity. Can you guys tell I read? There might be a proclivity to like be kind of stuck in your head in the month of December, and be kind of stuck in your feelings, and want to like overanalyze things, and want to kind of like hermit a little bit. It's like the desire, the like pull to do that is there, but then I think there's like people in your life who are like, no, get your ass out of bed, we're going out, get out of bed, we're celebrating the holidays, we're gonna go get drinks, we're gonna go what's that called, ice skating. I was gonna say roller skating on ice, similar but not really. We're gonna go ice skating. We're gonna do December things. Yeah. It's like, Yeah, it's like maybe there's like some sort of like internal debate going on where you really want to sit down and like retreat into yourself and like come up with answers and have this big like hermit moment. But it's like your friends and like the people around you are like, no, you do enough of that. You do enough of that. We were really having a lot of fun with you going out a bunch last month, but we weren't able to. But now we're able to, and you are too. You're just being a stickler about it. So let's go out. Let's go do things. And I think you have a lot of fun in the month of December. There might be like a couple moments where you're like out with friends where you like take a moment to like get a little lost in your head or something. But then it's like you're pretty easily pulled back out of that. Maybe you go bowling in December. That's coming through in particular. Yeah, it's like the people around you are what's instilling the optimism and like the joy for life. Yippee, yippee, woo. Yeah. Okay, cool. So, personal life in December. Well, the Chariot with Rabbit Rago Oot. Pardon my pronunciation. Personal life for December for part 1. And then a 10 of Pentacles! Yeah! I love it. Cool. Yeah. Feeling like it's like we're in and out the year on a bang, you know? We're feeling really good. We're feeling really confident. We're feeling really stable, really secure. There could also be this sort of like recognition of like how far you've come, and also like the excitement of how much further you have to go. Not in terms of like, wow, there's still so much I have to do, oh my god, like, but like, it's I'm hearing Lust for Life by Lana Del Rey. It is kind of a lust for life, and feeling excited that there's so much more out there to do. Like, there's so many different places you're gonna travel during your life. There's so many different, like, people you're gonna meet and friends you're gonna make and experiences you're gonna have, and like, there's gonna be so many many different ways that you're just gonna experience like joy and happiness in this life in like ways that you can't even expect, that you can't even know. And it makes you excited for the future and really want to like propel yourself forward and ready to take on like anything. Yeah. Yay. That's so lovely. That's beautiful. Okay, so what about love life for December? Also 10 of Pentacles, wow. Oh, Toro sushi spread. We got 2 again, the Tower and the Ace of Cups. Star on the bottom. That's a really pretty star. Interesting. I kind of also really like this. Ooh! So, like, first glance, it looks like flames peeking out of the tower. They're flower petals. They're flower petals. It's not as bad as or as scary as it may seem. Also, it's fine. It's fine. So I think that like there is just going to be this like air of security about you and confidence and like self-assuredness and like pride in the best way. that I think it's just going to draw people in towards you. And I think that you've spent enough time, like, what's the right word? Like, unpacking and all of these different, you know, things that we've been talking about for like the past couple of months, that it, I think, is going to draw people in toward you with like the Ace of Cups. So like in December there could be someone who makes sort of like a romantic offer towards you, or like shows that they have like a genuine romantic interest. And maybe at first you're like, pause, pause, like that in and of itself might be a little destabilizing, because you've been working so much on yourself and creating this foundation for yourself that like someone else coming in, there might be a fear that like, what if they undo all of the hard work that you have been doing for the past few months. But then I think there's this realization of like, no one can shake you. Like, no one can undo all of the hard work that you've done for yourself, because you've created this solid, stable foundation within yourself that is unshakable. Like, people could go like, whoa, 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 let me shake it, and you'd stay completely still, you know? I'm thinking of I'm thinking of that meme where it's like this guy who's like trying to talk to a brick wall. It's like that, like you're the brick wall, like they can't, like there's no getting through. But like, I think that whatever this new thing is coming in, I think it's actually going to be really nice, and there might be like you might also show interest in it and want to explore it, and you'll feel safe doing so because you'll feel so rooted and grounded in yourself that like it feels like you're not like risking anything. That's nice. That's nice. Okay. And then work and school for December. How's that gonna go? Strength. Meat on bone. Period. Work and school for December. Ah. We have the Six of Pentacles and the Page of Wands. Four of Pentacles on the bottom. Yeah, I think this is where you're starting to like get back into the groove of things. There could be people in your life who like help you do that. Maybe even like a tutor. Like you might be able to find, if you're like in school and that's what you're needing, you might be able to find like a tutor who helps you through that. Or maybe if it's work and you're really overwhelmed, if you have been really overwhelmed by things, then there might be someone who comes along to like help you kind of like pick up the slack a little bit. Yeah, I think you're gonna start feeling a lot more confident in this as well. Cool. Also, Six of Pentacles in like December kind of makes me think of like end of the year bonuses or like holiday bonuses, stuff like that. Ha, 69. Wait, that's funny. That's really funny that because you know, 69 and the Six of Pentacles is all about giving and receiving. Oh, that's funny. Okay. And on that note, that's all I have for your reading. So yeah, I think that's all I got actually. So thanks for joining me for your reading. I really, really appreciate it. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy this reading. If you enjoy how I read, you can join the Boned Club. We have fun here. You can also check out my Patreon, where I post exclusive pick a card readings, to education content, extendeds from my TikTok readings, and then there's voting power for like what readings you want to see on here next. This reading was picked by my lovely folks over on Patreon. And then tarot spreads, there's a ton of good stuff over there on Patreon if you want to check that out. You can also check out my tarot and oracle deck that I made, the Bone Dead Tarot and the Childlike Wonders Oracle. Those are going to be linked down in the description. You can book a personal reading if you feel called to, and then you can also check out my Instagram and TikTok at Bone Dead Tarot on both platforms. So Thanks for listening to my spiel. I appreciate it. I hope you have a good morning, afternoon, or night whenever you're watching. Bye. Hi, pile 2, if you chose Miss Gigi, then this is gonna be reading. I'm gonna put her right here. I hope she's like sort of visible. So I already pre-shuffled all of the like general overview cards for each month, just to, like save on time. So, and then we're gonna use the Anime Food Tarot and the Every Little Thing You Do Is Magic Tarot and get one each for each month for like your personal life, and then your love life, and then career/school. So let's go and get into it with October. So for October we have Capricorn with the CEO. Hey. Driven, stability, patience, persistence, materialistic, ambitious, cautious, practical, traditional, workaholic, detached, ruler of the 10th house. And then we have anxiety with number 18, the star, versatility with sun and Gemini, and then wedge, which just kind of looks like cheese, I'm gonna be real. Someone is trying to come between you and a friend or something you want. Someone's trying to get between you and your cheese. Wait, isn't cheese another word for money? I think so. Which would kind of make sense with like anxiety and then the CEO and then more O's. Cool. I'm actually gonna be so real. There might be something kind of going on in your personal life in October that makes you feel like you have to focus on like literally anything but that. It's kind of like, wow, I have all these problems over here. I'm gonna, hey, what's over here instead? Oh God, I hope it's better. Even if it's not that. So let me do this instead. And isn't that beautiful? Isn't that great? So like there could be stuff going on in your personal life and then you're like, I'm going to throw myself into my work. And that's gonna be good because, you know, I'm getting myself ahead and I'm helping myself out and I'm helping other people out and I'm getting money. Period. Period. Wow, I can do so much. But also with the star, it's like the opportunity to heal and to do more in your personal life is there. And also there might be like a very clearly like easy solution for whatever's going on in your personal life, but it's like, wow, that might like take effort and like work. Like I don't know if I'm kind of up to that this month. Like I have so much other stuff going on and maybe you're just like really tired. Maybe you just don't have like the energy for it. Something like that. Yeah, interesting. It's like you're trying to focus on more like practical things, things that you can like actively do something about, and like easy problems to solve rather than whatever's going on over here. Interesting. Is there anything else? That's really straightforward to the point. I don't think so. I think that's it. Okay, so what's going on in pile 2's personal life in October? Okay, that's 3. I'm not taking 3. 8 of Wands with Tamagoyaki. And then the 9 of Swords. Yeah. Yeah, I think that makes sense. So it could just be a general feeling of like overwhelm and a general feeling of anxiety and like restless thoughts, maybe like not being able to get enough sleep at night. Like the evil like mental illness thoughts entering your brain. For some of you this is like so specific. So like let this be a sort of like see what happens and then maybe it lines up kind of thing. But for some of you, you might have like a difficulty getting a prescription refilled for some reason. If you, like, for example, I know my friends who have been like, who like take medication for their ADHD, sometimes they have difficulty getting their prescriptions refilled because I think there's like a shortage or something. And then they're like, yeah, now I just, I can't really fucking do much. I can't like, can't get anything done because of that. So it might be something similar to that, or, you know, something along those lines. Yeah. But it's just kind of a feeling of, because like those two cards combined give me like restless thoughts, and like your brain is running much, much faster than you can really like sit down and like comprehend and like for example, if you're having like a ton of like intrusive thoughts, or a ton of like really mean thoughts about yourself or your life or whatever, it's like they're moving so fast that you can't like sit down and do something about it. You can't sit down and like combat them, or like argue with them, so to speak. Yeah. And so it might just be easier for you to try to like focus on other things and do anything you can to keep yourself out of your own head and keep your attention like occupied. And then I think that makes sense for like throwing yourself into like work or school, or like other practical things where you're like getting things done, because then you're also gonna have the mindset of like, well, at least I'm being like useful. At least I'm able to like do these things and get this done and be productive. Yeah. Okay, cool. So, love life. Pile 2's love life in October. The Star! Konpei Ito, I think. Pile 2's love life in October. Okay, so we have the Knight of Wands and the Three of Wands. Ooh, the Chariot on the bottom. So, also the Empress was on the bottom for this one, with herring and pumpkin pie. Fish pie. I'm sorry, that doesn't sound good. I'm also American. Okay. So, the Star, Three of Wands, and the Knight of Wands. Honestly, you could be like going on dates and stuff and like getting out there and meeting new people and trying new things. There could be like one person in particular that you are seeing during the month of October. And things might actually look pretty hopeful with them. Things with the Star and like the Three of Wands, like it might actually seem like things are moving forward with this person in like a positive direction. And like you feel safe holding out hope that like there could be more potentially between the two of you. You could be, yeah, like the Three of Wands makes me think of like going out on dates and like trying new things that you hadn't you know, like tried before, or like seen before, or like being introduced to new things that maybe you weren't like necessarily super aware of. Stuff like that. And I think whoever this is going to be someone who's really like fun, easy to get along with. They really enjoy like trying new things and exploring and getting out there. They're probably really funny, very witty, easy to get along with, creative potentially. I don't know, like just kind of like a little bit of like a jokester and very lighthearted. But with this Knight of Wands, I'm not getting that they're like, I'm not actually getting player energy. Like I usually get with the Knight of Wands. Like, this is very playful and someone who probably like means very well. But they're just like, fun. Yeah. Maybe sometimes, occasionally, they're like a little immature, but, not in any way that's like acting as like a deterrent, you know? Where it's like, oh, oh, you're like that level of immature. I'm talking like maybe they make some silly jokes here and there where you're like, that was an immature joke, but it was funny, so it's fine. And maybe they like work with their hands or like are very proficient with tools. Just because there's like, you know, a freaking flathead screwdriver, pliers, and a wrench. I am flexing by saying I know what a flathead screwdriver is, even though that's the most basic tool ever. Yeah, I know screwdriver. I know screwdriver. Also, this, I don't know for sure, obviously, because I've never like had it, but this looks like a candy, so maybe this person's also very, very sweet. Yay. Okay, cool. What's really awesome is that it's not your love life causing any anxiety for you in the month of October. So, how about school and work? How's that going to be for them in October? We have the King of Pentacles. Itamai? Work in October for about you. And the Six of Pentacles. Ooh, strength on the bottom. What's on the bottom here? The Wheel of Fortune, mystery, croquettes. Ugh. Sorry, there's the fish in one. I don't think I like fish. I like salmon. I think you're gonna be feeling really good, actually, and really like accomplished in work and school in the month of October. That's great. That's wonderful. And I think it probably is because maybe you're like throwing yourself into it as a result of the personal things going on, like we said before. And you might even be like going out of your way to help other people do stuff with like the Six of Pentacles, because like it's like, well, I got everything done for me, but fuck, I still need to do stuff. I still need to do stuff, so I'm not in here. You guys give me your work and I'll do it for you. Get a break, because I need one too, and this is my version of getting a break. It's kind of like that. But also, like, hey, on the outside, you seem super, like, put together. You seem super cool, calm, collected on the outside. King of Pentacles, like, that's great. No one knows. Still confide in people, though, please. Don't handle all of that on your own. Therapist, sorry. Friends, family member, a trusted individual, literally like just don't feel the need to carry all of this on your own, because you're clearly not having a good time. What is it? Sadness or anxiety shared is sadness or anxiety halved, but then joy shared is joy doubled. So, and you're not putting it onto other people. You're not giving a burden to them. You're not burdening other people by trusting other people with your emotions and your stress. You're just like sharing your feelings. It's not that bad, I promise. Okay. So, that's October. I'm so excited for Halloween. November. So, we have Neptune with mystery. Sorry, that made me think of K-pop Demon Hunters. Confusion, imagination, dreams, artistry, Pisces, spirituality, subconscious, intuition, clairvoyance, illusions, dreams, visions, depth, consciousness. And then, first chakra, Archangel Michael. He's so ripped, that's crazy. And then we have the Tower. Dude, I love cats. Manipulation with Jupiter in Scorpio. And Flag. Do not be tempted to lower your standards. Interesting. Okay. I think grounding is going to be really important for you in the month of November, so I would make a point to like be doing that consistently in the month of November, not like once a week. Maybe start out your day with a nice grounding exercise. I think that would actually probably be incredibly helpful, because I think there might be a tendency to get lost inside of yourself and inside your own like mental distortions in the month of November. Just like with Neptune energy, the Tower. And I think manipulation, it's Jupiter and Scorpio. So I think it's more so like less manipulation as in like you're manipulating people, and more so that like I think it has more so to do with your how you're viewing reality and how your brain can distort things, you know, manipulate things to fit a certain idea or perception, or to make you feel more unsettled, or make you see things that aren't there, you know, through like anxiety just telling you a bunch of nasty stuff that's just like not true. So like with the do not be tempted to lower your standards, I think that has more so to do with like there being this like fear, or like maybe kind of a paranoid thought of like, what if just a lot of like what if thoughts that might cause you to like maybe spiral a little bit. There's spirals. That's funny. Yeah, so I think grounding is going to be really, really important in the month of November. But let's get some more details. And I don't think this is anything to be scared of or anything to be like super worried about, just something to be aware of. Especially because, you know, we are being given a tool to like handle that and deal with it, with like the grounding stuff. Okay, there's two, that's too many. So there was going to be a third. Can I just get one for personal life? 7 of Swords. Curry rice. That sounds good. Personal life for pile 2. 7 of Cups. And then the King of Pentacles on the bottom. Ground, holy shit, ground. Find like different, I know there's like grounding mats. You could look into those, or maybe meditation, although I kind of want to say stay away from meditation just because that puts you directly in your head, and that's what we're trying to get out of. I mean, you kind of have to like go through the barrier that is your head to get into your body. And I genuinely think that like just the more you can be only in your body, the better it is. So that could be like working out, yoga, hanging out with plants. I don't know, just like I would Google different ways to ground and then see if there's one that like sticks out to you, and maybe just trial and error it until you find one that really works. Because I think, you know, 7 of Swords, 7 of Cups. There's just gonna be a, like, I don't know, like, not to scare you, but like, I think mental distortions could be really prevalent in the month of November, and things just seeming like really blown out of proportion maybe, or you're just, there's just a difficulty to see things for like what they are. And I think it's because of like your brain trying to fucking pull one over on you and make things seem worse than they are. Or like, you have to be scared. I'm not gonna tell you why, but you need to be filled with fear right now. Run! It's kind of like that. Like why? What? What's wrong? What's wrong? What's over? What? What? Nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing. Your brain's just being a bitch. So I was gonna use the C word, but this is YouTube and I can't do that. Rats. So that's personal life. Let's see your love life for November. Three of Cups with Pocky. I freaking love Pocky. It's so good. Okay, what else for love life? We got two of Pentacles. How do you want to be? And the Empress in reverse. Ah, Three of Cups on the bottom too. Wow. I could see potentially like getting closer with people or trying to, and this could be like friends or romantic interest, like with the Knight of Wands character we saw in October, trying to just like focus more on them than on yourself, which to them they might be like, focus on yourself, you know, like do what you have to do, take care of yourself. And then you reply, I have got to get the fuck out of here. Like, I can't, like, my mind is in prison. I'm being dramatic, by the way, when I say your mind is a prison. It's just like, I think that, I don't know, with the Two of Pentacles, it's like you might want to stay busy with other people, and hang out with friends more, and, oh, I just got really hungry. Oh, I've only had toast today. That's probably why. Anyway, hang out with other people and be a bit more social and get out of your comfort zone and just kind of like stay busy. Yeah, so there could just be like a lot of like movement or like action going on in your love life, and I think it's more like, you know, hanging out with people, seeing people, rather than like progress being made in the connection. It's kind of just a continuation of, I think, whatever was happening in October. With the Empress though in reverse, I kind of want to say they might show like interest or concern, like, hey, are you doing good? I just want to check in with you and stuff like that, which they're just being sweet. Like, try not to see that as like annoying or like demeaning, or like they're doubting you or they think something's wrong with you. Not that at all. They just, you know, want to make sure you're good and having a good time. You gonna hang out, Cleo? You're so pretty. I love you. You're so awesome. Yeah. Yeah, okay, cool. And then work in school for November. Ace of Cups with bamboo shoot cookies. Never heard of those. And the Three of Cups. Cool. I think work and school is also going great. There could be like a new project or a new like task or something fresh happening in this area of your life that makes you feel really excited, and you like look forward to it. And it could be like a collaborative thing where you get to work with people that you actually really enjoy and really enjoy getting to know. And you're able to kind of like, and I think as you're working on this, you're also able to be more present in the moment rather than concerned with whatever private stuff is happening. And that makes it like more enjoyable because you're able to just get like lost in the moment and not like really have any worries outside of whatever worries are going on, like with the project or whatever it is. Yeah, it seems really good. It seems like a good time. Maybe you guys go out to eat because there's also food in the Three of Cups. So, okay, I think that's November. And then December. Sagittarius with the Explorer. That makes sense for December because Sagittarius. Adventurous, distant places, free spirit, clever, travel, philosophy, bold, blunt, impatient, argumentative, independent, ruler of the 9th house. Do you want to hang out, or are you just going to stand there and stare at me? Okay. And then we have victory in reverse with number 28. Temperance. Impulsiveness with Mars in Aries, and Lily with spiritual love. Meow meow. Oh god. I was expecting it and you still spooked me. It's really easy to jump scare me, unfortunately. So. Oh, well, we have Sagittarius here twice with, like, Temperance, because that's also Sagittarius. I kind of want to pull, like, an extra tarot card, because there's not, like, a ton coming through. Okay, 8 of Pentacles in the Hierophant, with Judgment on the bottom. Okay, so, December's gonna be a really good month for, like, reeling it in. I'm hearing the song Reel It In by Amine, I think is how you say his name. And finding different ways to, like, rebalance yourself and get back on track in you know, all of the, like, personal life stuff that we've been seeing. Especially with, like, the spiritual love thing here and, like, the Hierophant. You could be seeking different ways to, like, connect with yourself better, and I want to say put a lid on it, but, like, that sounds like bottling everything up. I don't know if that's the solution, but maybe it's, like, a temporary thing of, like, putting a lid on it so that it's just more manageable, you know, because the, like, image I have in my head is, like, of, you know, when you put, like, Mentos in soda and then it's just, like, everywhere. It's kind of like that. And so the idea is, like, putting a lid on that, and then you can kind of, like, see the thing in a more contained space, and then it's much more easy to approach and much easier to see what's actually going on rather than being overwhelmed by the effects of everything. So I think that makes a lot more sense. I think that checks out. With this, like, victory in reverse, it's kind of like trying to problem solve and figure out how to be victorious, so to speak. Yeah. And, like, not let impulsiveness get the best of you. Yeah, just finding different ways to, like, reel it in. Like, December seems like the month where you actually can, like, have the energy, the wherewithal to focus on whatever's going on internally and truly tackle it. Okay. So, let's look at your personal life. So, how will pile 2's personal life go in December? Wow. Justice! Katsudon. Yum. And the Page of Wands. Yeah. Yes, this is not the Seven of Cups and Seven of Swords. So it looks much better. It is like, I do think things are becoming much more manageable, and it's the Page of Wands, you know, so it's like the beginning, the apprentice, you know. Hey, so what's really awesome is my camera's battery died, but it's plugged in now. Yay. So things feel much more manageable. Like, you're able to, like, you're being given and you're being shown tools for how to deal with things, because like when you're an apprentice, like, the entire thing there, someone's teaching you how to do something, and you are on your way to becoming like a master at it. Period. I love that. But you're in the beginning stages of like figuring something out and learning something. So with like the Justice card too, it's like I think things are being broken down into like much more manageable steps, and into ways where you feel like it's actually something you're able to tackle. Like, things could be broken down to you in a way that feels like simplified, you know? Because like with Justice, I'm thinking about how you kind of like you can read the laws all you want, and if you're really intelligent and you really want to take the time to understand them, then like you can. But also it's easier when you have a lawyer explain things to you in layman's terms. So there could be someone, and because we saw the Hierophant earlier when we were clarifying like the overall vibe of the month, there could be someone who you could be like seeking therapy or other like professional help that makes things seem, again, like much more manageable to you. Like, there's actually like a game plan that you can use and tackle and go after, and it's just, things don't seem so overwhelming anymore, or so like unmanageable, or so like, oh no, this is what my life is gonna be for the rest of my life. Fuck, I don't want to do that. It's like, oh, okay, I can I know what I'm doing now. Everything's cool, everything's fine. I'm actually chilling. I'm actually chilling, and I'm actually good. Sick. Yay! Yay! Yippee! Yay! Okay, cool. So, that's personal life. Thank God, am I right? Let's look at your love life for December. Pile 2's love life in December. Hey, that's 3. I don't think so. 8 of Swords with ginger pork. Damn, it sounds good. I'm just hungry. Okay. Their love life in December. Card. 8 of Pentacles. Oh, with the Page of Cups. Okay. I think it's more of just like a continuation of like past energy. Like, I don't think anything like crazy is happening. I think it's just a progression of whatever's been going on in your love life for the past couple of months that we've been looking at. But with the 8 of Swords, there might be this kind of thought of like, well, like, shouldn't more be happening right now? Or you could even be thinking like, I don't know if I can be seeing anyone right now. I don't know if I can talk to anyone right now because I have all of this other stuff going on, which I think is like a limiting like self-belief. I don't know if that's the right phrase. It's sort of just like a limiting thought though, or an excuse, because I think you are getting a handle on things and getting more control of things, and that's helping you feel more in control, and like better, you know? So with like the love life thing, because that's not solely within your control and it's a dance, that might start making you feel a little nervous, because now this might be the area where you feel like you have the least amount of control. And so there might be like this impulse or desire to want to like take control by like maybe pulling back a little bit, but I don't actually think that's going to be helpful. I think the best thing you can do if you like actually really like the person that you're talking to is to just like keep it going and be consistent and be persistent. And maybe also just like communicative, you know? They're beavers, they're building something. And it takes time to build things. Although beavers build shit like pretty damn fast. I saw something online that was like beavers built a dam for this thing that like the government predicted was going to take like 10 or 15 years to build and like $1 billion or something, and like beavers did it in 2 weeks or something like that. So like I think your progress with this person isn't going to take like as long as you think it will or something like that. Yeah. So, last but not least, your work life. How's their work life gonna go in December? Okay, we have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse with Geisha. Well, Two of Swords and the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, people have expected now this, like, insane, you know, like, work output from you, and you're having to pull back and, like, minimize how much you can take on. And I don't know if they're, like, necessarily getting upset about that, but, there might be, like a level of confusion, perhaps, of, like, well, you were doing this for so long, and you're like, yeah, so, I burnt myself out, and also there's a ton of other stuff going on in my life, and I'm not, I just can't do that anymore, trust me when I say. And with the Two of Swords, there might be some level of, like, feeling stuck from you, of, like, okay, well, how do I tell people that, like, I can't be doing as much for them anymore if they're coming to me asking me to do things for them, like, I have to figure out how to say no, something like that. Like, figuring out how to prioritize yourself and, like, what is now, like, your new level of capability. And then, like, communicate that. Chill, that's pretty straightforward, too. Gnarly. Okay, cool. So, cool, pile 2. That's all I have for you. Thank you so much for joining me for your reading. I really, really appreciate it. I hope this resonated and made sense and was helpful. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this reading. You can also check out my Patreon. I post exclusive pick a card readings on there, to education content, extended from the readings I post on TikTok, and then there's voting power, so you can pick the topics that I post here on YouTube. This topic was picked by the lovely folks over on Patreon, so if you want to, like, be part of that process, then you can go check that out. A bunch, like, along with some other stuff that I post on Patreon, like tarot spreads and stuff like that. You can also check out my Tarot and Oracle deck that I made, the Bone Dead Tarot, which we used to clarify earlier for you, and then the Childlike Wonders Oracle. It's up here on my desk, that's why I look up. Yeah, you can also book a personal reading if you feel called to, and you can follow me over on Instagram and TikTok at Bone Dead Tarot. Those will also be down below, I think. So that's all I have for you. Thanks for joining me so much for your reading, and I hope you have a good morning, afternoon, or night whenever you're watching. Bye. Pile 3, who chose this little cutie right here, Miss Poppy. She's my favorite. Then this is gonna be right around. So I went ahead and pre-shuffled all of the like general overview cards for October, November, and December, and then, you know, with each month we're gonna look into specifically like your personal life, and then your love life, and then your work slash school life for each month. And I'm gonna use 2 tarot decks for that, pull 1 card from each, just because that's a lot of fun for me, because getting like repeated cards is fun, seeing like a theme continue or like how it can affect like other areas of the life. I think it's a lot of fun. So we're gonna use the anime food tarot for that, and the every little thing you do is magic tarot. These are big. So yeah, yay, let's go get into it. So for October, we have Woman Holding a Coin, number 42. And then the 11th house with community, society, organizations, friends, social circle, giving back, hopes and wishes, group activities, memberships, networking, and social consciousness. The Fool. Decision with Mars in Gemini. And Elephant. A long journey, either physical or mental, will leave you wiser at the end. Some of you could be going on a trip in October, so you can take that, if that's true, then you can take that as confirmation that this group is for you. For others of you, because it's Elephant, and I always think of like good memory when it comes to Elephant, I think it's probably going to be more of like a mental journey that leaves you guys feeling very good. And it's like, I think the journey is like ending in October. It might be something that you've been dealing with for like the past couple of months. But in October, I think you're going to be feeling really secure in yourself and very self-assured with like this Woman Holding a Coin. And you could be going out more and trying new things more, specific, like in your community or like with people in your community, with friends, like group activity type stuff. You could even be the one who's like organizing things every so often, not for like everything, obviously. I think you're just gonna be like invited places, and then sometimes you are the one to schedule the house, you know? Yeah. You could even be establishing like a new community in October, or like finding a new group of friends, or finding friends through activities out and about in your community, you know? So that could be like joining a book club, and then you meet like a couple people there that you end up really like meshing really well with. Something like that. Something where you're just like joining the general hubbub of your area, and then connecting with people very closely, like as a result. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. Both of my cats are taking baths right now, so if you, I hope you can't hear that actually. So let's look into the specifics. So pile 3's personal life in October. How's that gonna go? How are you reversed? Okay, well, we have the Ace of Swords reversed with Sukiyaki. Yum. And then what else? The personal life. The 8 of Pentacles. With some beavers. Beaver? I hardly know her. Sorry. Okay. So with the Ace of Swords in reverse and the 8 of Pentacles for personal life, this kind of feels like maintenance. Recently I've been getting like maintenance a lot with the 8 of Pentacles. I know it also talks about like craftsmanship and stuff, but recently maintenance has just been coming through a lot. So when it comes to your personal life in October, I think it's just going to be a lot of like making sure that the ways that you connect with yourself and the ways that you like problem solve for like whatever internal issues may arise are still like intact. Like those are still good methods for you to be approaching things, if that makes sense. Just like with the Ace of Swords in reverse, it's like less of like new ideas and more so of maintaining like ones that have already been implemented, you know? Other than that, like, I don't think there's much of like a ultra focus on like anything like internal happening in October with it, like the 11th house and like woman holding a coin. I think that October is probably going to be more externally interesting, I suppose, rather than a very like internal month and like reflective month. Is there anything else? I don't think so. I think that's it. Period. So, love life for October. How's that gonna go for pile 3? Okay, we have the 8 of Cups with dried squid. Pile 3's love life in October. Whoa. And 6 of Swords. Both of these cards talk about moving on. This could be like a couple different things. Only take this one if it resonates. If you are currently like seeing someone and you've been like going back and forth of like, do I want to keep seeing them or like do I want to kind of like branch off and then do my own thing? October could be the month where you kind of make the decision to, you know, leave. And, you know, do your own thing. Only take that if it's something that you've already been thinking about, though. Otherwise, if you're, like, with someone and you don't want to be leaving them, then I think it's more of having to take a look at, like, some trends in the relationship that maybe aren't super fulfilling or maybe aren't great for y'all's growth as like a couple, and then having to take a look at them, analyze, and then, you know, take action to it's again like kind of tidying up a little bit. Like the image I have in my head is like someone like sweeping cobwebs away. So just get rid of like the concepts or ideas in your relationship that might be a little outdated, and outdated in the sense where like this worked for y'all in the past but now it doesn't really work anymore, because dynamics change and shift and evolve all of the time, and so habits that we form are habits, and so they might not like have shifted with the change and evolution. So it's kind of just like making sure everything's like up to date a little bit. Yeah, if you're not in a relationship, though, with the 6 of Swords and 8 of Cups, I do think that it's going to be like a similar idea where you're probably taking a look at outdated beliefs and behaviors and ideas that you could have towards love and relationships, and realizing like, oh, this isn't actually like great for me. This isn't actually like serving my highest good. This is actually kind of like really, really unhelpful and putting me in a spot that I don't like to be in and I don't enjoy. So let me just fix that real quick. Let me mend that and move on, and then embrace newer ideas that align more with myself, you know. Yeah, also there's number 55, in case that's significant. 55 or like 555. Yeah, okay, so that's your love life for October. And then work and school, career. We have Judgment with potato chips. Work and school for pile 3 in October. How's that going to go? Okay. Maybe it's kind of slow. Maybe it's kind of slow. Or like it feels like it's dragging on a bit. 9 of Wands. Yeah. And then the 5 of Wands. Aww, dogs. That's so cute. Yeah. It might feel like you're kind of like low energy when it comes to work and school in October, or like there's this feeling of like needing to persist even though you like really don't want to anymore. There could be some sort of like projects going on that just you need to see through, especially because like I think October's midterm season. So good luck with that if you have midterms. Good luck, have fun. You know. With Judgment though, it feels like sort of like a realization or coming to some sort of conclusion that like the way that you've been doing things, there's like a better way to do it. 7:11 on the clock. You know, it's like a realization that like, oh wait, I've been working harder, not smarter, and needing to do something about that, needing to kind of like, well, I don't know if you'd be able to like actually do something about it with like a current, where you're currently at, and more so take on a new approach with like the next project or next, you know, whatever big thing you have to take on. Because like with the 9 of Wands, it talks about like being that close to finishing something, and so having to like really push through. So there might be that realization, and then you're like, well, now that makes this so much harder to do, because if I just done it simply, then it would have already been done, and now I have to continue to do it this hard way when I could have just, you know? But also that means from now on, things are gonna be a lot easier for you once you finish this up. Period. Kind of a chill month. Pretty chill. Okay, so that's October. Let's take a look at November. We have first chakra, Archangel Michael, number 35. And then Mars with ambition, assertive, aggression, war, Aries / Scorpio, Tuesday, confidence, impulsiveness, strength, action, sexuality, passion, desire, and determination. And then you guys got 2. So we have the Lovers. Look at them. They are so stinking cute. And then also the Emperor. He's a big boy. He's a big boy. Him. And then we have Patience with Jupiter in Virgo. And Turkey. Someone is behaving stupidly. This card makes me giggle. Okay. Yeah, so like you're definitely gonna be dealing with someone who's kind of stupid in November, you know, and I think that's where that Patience card comes in. There might be a desire with like Mars and the Emperor here to kind of just overhaul everything and just say, let me do it, let me do everything myself, and like it'll be fun, like just let me do it, just let me do it. But for some reason, some way, somehow, I like that's not allowed. Like it's like you're wanting to take over and just do a project or something all on your own, and then just be like, it's fine, like you can have some of the credit, just please let me do this because you are not good at this. You are a little stupid and I can't do this right now. I can't handle that right now. But for some reason it's like there could be someone who's like overseeing the project, or like multiple checkpoints, or like having to log what each of you do. And so it's like there's no way around it. And so you're gonna have to spend a lot of time like grounding yourself. It might be really, really frustrating, actually. I think it is going to be very, very frustrating. And I think you're gonna have to spend some time like grounding yourself, or like finding ways to center yourself so that you don't get too like heated and like pissed off and annoyed. Other than that, we have the Lovers. So other than like whatever stupid person you're dealing with, I think it's gonna be like a kind of a sweet month, you know. But it might get overshadowed by the stupid person. So, is there anything else? This is all like very direct and to the point, which I like. I think that's great. I guess that's it. Okay, cool. Okay, so, group 3's personal life in November. How's that gonna go for them? Ah, the sun with souffle pancakes. And then what else? We have two. We have the Empress and Death. Oh, there's the Emperor again. Interesting. They can kiss. They're married. Okay, so, cool. I think your personal life is going to be glowing in November. That's lovely. Pause. Let me mute that. Really, really great. With like, I don't know. I think you're going to feel really well taken care of. And with the sun, like, I don't know. It's like everything is going to have an extra, like, a filter on it of just like sunshine and rainbows, and everything is beautiful. Which is really funny because we saw with the overview, it's like everything outside of that, I think you're gonna be feeling really positively about. And it's almost like whenever you're not having to deal with that person, everything suddenly becomes more beautiful because they're not there and because you don't have to deal with them, which is kind of funny. With Death, there could also be some shift in the way that you choose to like take care of yourself and show up for yourself. That makes you feel really good. Like there could be new hobbies you're finding or new routines that you're implementing. Yeah. And it's like there's some sort of like pivotal shift that makes you kind of like start to see things differently in a new sort of like brighter, more wholesome light. And it makes you also just feel really good about yourself. Like, and I think it's specifically something to do with like taking care of the physical body with the Empress, because she's associated with like Venus, so like Taurus, Libra energy. It's despite it being the planet of Venus, it feels very earthy to me. Yeah. Lovely. It's lovely. Okay, great. Okay, cool. So, love life. Pile 3's love life in November. Oh, hello. The Knight of Wands with the protagonist. There's the Empress again. Herring and pumpkin pie. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Okay. Their love life. Whoa. Do I want it? Okay. And then it's the King of Wands. Interesting. Interesting puzzles. Okay. Sorry. So I think with the Knight of Wands and the King of Wands, there's likely going to be someone, and I don't think this is the stupid person. By the way, I don't think this is the stupid person. I think there's probably just someone who's going to be introducing themselves into your love life if they're like not already there. Someone who's really fun, someone who's really exciting, very creative, very confident, very self-assured. The word valor is coming through. And, you know, sometimes I read a word and I can pick up what it means from context clues, but then sometimes I'm also wrong. Great courage in the face of danger, especially in battle. Okay, who's battling? Who's battling? Just probably very courageous and willing to, like, step up to the plate, you know? Like, for example, if there's, like, a group activity and someone, or, like, it's a... the example I can think of is like in class and the professor's like, who wants to go first to present? And then it's like dead silent and and they're like, well, I'm gonna have to pick someone. And then I think this is the type of person who would go, I'll go. Just to save some like poor soul from being randomly picked on, you know? And then it triggers like more people like raising their hand to go and just get it over with. Yeah, they're also probably, like, pretty attractive, very warm, very funny, very friendly. Yeah, so this type of person, whoever fits that, you know, this archetype could, like, make themselves known to you and show interest in you. And I do think it is going to be a genuine interest. I don't think it's going to be like, give me your deets and then I'm only interested in physical things with you and then I'm gonna dip. I really don't think it's anything like that, which is really nice because I usually do get that from the Knight of Wands, but we also have the King of Wands here, which is more mature. So like, they're very playful, but they also are able to be more mature, which is great. And like, they know when to like turn it on and when to just be silly and have fun. Yeah, especially with like the way that like he's offering us some what looks like chicken or something. I think they'll probably be the one to come up and approach you and like spark something with you, initiate things. Cool. Is there anything else? Oh, there's chameleons in the background, but then like a salamander up front. So like they might have been someone who's been in your periphery for a while, but they've kind of like blended into the background and you haven't really noticed them until they choose to make themselves known to you. Cool. Okay. So then work/school. That looks good. It's the Magician. Rustic breakfast. That looks good. So, work/school for pile 3 in November. How's that gonna go? We have the Page of Cups. Cutie. School kid customer. Work/school. Okay. Justice and the 9 of Cups. Interesting. Hold on. forgot I can turn on Do Not Disturb on my computer. I love that. Okay. That's cool. Sorry. The image. Dope. With the Nine of Cups, I think things are going to be going pretty smoothly in work or school for you in the month of November. But it's like, it's interesting because with the Page of Cups, it's like there's someone who's really overeager to like help or like do something. And then with Justice, it feels like kind of having to like come behind them and clean up their like mistakes as they go, which I like could be the stupid person, but like maybe not. Because we have the Nine of Cups, you know, which is like a lovely, beautiful card where it's like you're getting what you want, wish fulfillment, stuff like that. Well, now I have to... What the hell is it talking about? I'll use this one. What the hell is this stupid person thing? We have the Nine of Pentacles, Five of Cups, and the Four of Cups, with the Queen of Wands on the bottom. Hello. I want to say, like, because it seems like everything's going pretty well in, like, all of the areas of life that we're looking at. So, it might just be that because things are going well everywhere else, it's like anytime you encounter something that, like, pisses you off in the slightest, it's like you're like extra mad at it because it's ruining the vibe that you have curated of like Lego Movie Everything is Awesome, you know? Interesting. Yeah, hi Cleo. Hello, beautiful. Interesting. Okay. There could be some sort of like reward or something being granted in work or career for like hard work being put in previously. Like things finally getting kind of like cashed out, so to speak. Yeah. Okay. Is there anything else? I think that's it. Okay. I'll put that back. Okay. So, last but not least, December. So, we have financial constraints with the number 13. South Node with karmic past, comfort zone, mastery, old habits, the past, unfinished business, current gifts / talents, natural strengths, limitations, potential, stagnancy, and then you got 2 again for these bad boys with judgment and the world. And then we have friendship with moon in Cancer and inkpot, problems to be resolved. Is it me? Am I the problem? So with like inkpot, you know, problems to be resolved, and then like judgment, south node, and financial constraints. It's like, I do think there is going to be something where in December you do realize that like, it's almost like a, damn, who's taking all this money out of my account? And then you go through and look through all of your like the past purchases to see if there's like fraud or something, and it's like, no, it's all you. That was all you. It's kind of like that. Like, I think that there's almost going to want to be like a desire to like to point the finger somewhere else, but then it's like, oh no, it's me. Financial constraints, I kind of think that makes sense for December though, because like it's gift giving season, it's holiday season. So maybe since it's September when I'm posting this, you can go ahead and like, if possible, start putting just like a little bit of money away every so often, or like go ahead and like start buying gifts so it's not all bulk at once. I should probably do that actually. We're in this together. And then with South Node Karmic Past. Hello, I love you. You're beautiful. I wish you could see her. You kind of can. You can see Figgy though. Hello, Diva. South Node. I think it is sort of just like, I think December is just going to be kind of like a time for recognition of like where you may have kind of just been causing issues for yourself. And I want to say like out of the thought that like what you were doing was right, but then realizing like, you know, in hindsight that the methods you were choosing weren't like up to date, or like weren't the correct ones for like whatever the issue was. That kind of seems to be like a theme. Other than that, with the world and friendship, I think that you'll probably just be spending a lot of time with friends and getting out there. You could be traveling as well, maybe traveling like with a friend, just getting out there and like seeing the world, celebrating with friends. Maybe like you have a couple friends who have their birthdays in December. Oh, I love you. Yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and look into the specifics. So, pile 3's personal life in, goodness me, December. How's that gonna go? We have two. We have the 2 of Wands and then the 4 of Wands with almond rice and potato salad. And then one of these bad boys. Again. Okay. The Sun. 5 of Pentacles and the 4 of Swords. Yeah, like, financial constraints with the 5 of Pentacles kind of go hand in hand. So, like, really be sure to watch your finances in December. And make sure that, like, I don't know, you're making, like, responsible, educated purchases, or that, like, you're not overspending or something like that. Other than that, I think personal life is going to go pretty well. We have 2 4s here, so like 44 or 444. We have another 4. Could be significant angel numbers, either just for you in general, or they could show up repeatedly in the month of December. It kind of just seems like there's there's like a lot of different vibes going on, because like 2 of Wands, 4 of Wands, 5 of Pentacles, 4 of Swords are like all very different. So it could just be like a very, very busy month for you, where there's a lot of like celebrating, a lot of like maybe parties that you're going to. You might feel very like spent. That could also be an interpretation for the like 5 of Pentacles and financial constraints, is just like feeling energetically spent. And you might have to like figure out how to like, I think delegate is the right word, your energy like appropriately, so that you're able to like, you're not like burning yourself out, you know? Especially with like the 4 of Swords, like there could just be a lot of plans with like the 2 of Wands in the month of December, and you're probably just gonna be really, really tired. That makes sense. But also, like, you're having a lot of fun and hanging out with a lot of loved ones. Maybe getting some good food. I hope so. So, that's personal life. Is there anything else? These are all really, like, short and direct messages. There's like not a lot to like pick apart at. So, pile 3's love life. 10 of Pentacles. Otoro sushi spread. And then the Queen of Cups. Lovely. Lovely. Oh. Okay, so, you're probably, it feels really nice. It feels really fulfilled. Like, emotionally, and, like, with the 10 of Pentacles, you could just be feeling very loved. Like, loved ones could be, and this, like, could be, a particular, like, special someone, or it could also be family and stuff, because 10 of Pentacles. Pause, I have to sneeze. No. You could be like receiving a lot, or just feeling very like rich with love for friends, or like the people in your life are just, you like picked some good eggs, you found some really good people, and so you could just be overwhelmed with a feeling of like love and gratitude and happiness for where you're at in your connections that you have with your loved ones. If you are going to be in a relationship in December, you know, because we saw like Knight and King of Wands in November, then I think that this is going to be someone who probably really likes to spoil you, and likes to make sure that you feel very seen and understood, you know, like emotionally. Yeah, with like the Whale and the Queen of Cups, it's like there's probably just a lot of like deep emotions going to be explored in December in your love life. Also, the Queen of Cups is very like psychic and intuitive, so you could be getting a lot of like deja vu in December, specifically when it comes to your love life, but also maybe just like all around. Yeah. Hello, gorgeous. Yeah, so that's your love life. And then, last but not least, work/school for pile 3 in December. How's that gonna go? We have a 7. Okay, that's 3. Okay, you didn't flip over. That's fine then. So it's 2. 7 of Pentacles with Yaki Tori, and then the Hanged Man with beef stew. And school for December 3. Two of Wands. Oh, the High Priestess. That's funny because I saw this and I was like, oh, it kind of looks like the High Priestess. Nar. She's on the bottom. Ha ha ha. So, things might be sort of like in the planning stages for work or school in December. Like prep mode with the Two of Wands and like Hanged Man, Seven of Pentacles. Like there's still work to be done, but most of it I think is going to be like prep work and taking the time to really see things from all angles and make sure that like you and like whoever you're working with, or you know, whatever classes you're taking or going to be taking, are all like set up for success, and that like, especially because we had the theme of like however you were approaching things, there was a better way to do it that was less work. I think December is going to be the time where you really take a look at things and like prepare to make sure that like the way you're approaching things is the best way to do it and not just like flying by the seat of your pants, unless that's like, you know, working for you. Then, you know, you keep doing you. But with the Two of Wands, like I definitely think there's going to be at least like some prep work involved. Just making sure that you're like setting yourself up for success. You could even like with all of these like robot hands in the Hanged Man, find some way to like automate things so that it takes some stuff off your plate or makes things more like efficient for you. Yeah, cool. Cool, is there anything else? I think that's all I got. So, gnarly. Thank you so much for joining me for your reading. Thanks for letting me read for you. I really, really appreciate it. I hope this resonated and made sense. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy this reading, if you enjoy how I read, if you want to like, you know, save it to like refer back to it later on in like the future months. That would be dope. You can also check out my Patreon where I post exclusive pick a card readings, tarot education content, tarot spreads that I make, extended readings from the readings I post on TikTok, and then like voting power for the readings I do here on YouTube. My patrons, the folks over on Patreon, my patrons, the folks over on Patreon, are the ones who picked out the topic for this reading. So if you want to pick out topics for future readings, I would definitely go check that out. You can also check out my tarot and oracle deck that I made, the Bone Dead Tarot and the Childlike Wonders Oracle. Those are really cool, of course, because I made them. Those will be linked down below. And if you want to book a personal reading, if you're called to, those will also be linked down below. And then you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Bone Dead Tarot for both platforms. I post readings there too, and like fun, silly stuff. So that's all I got. Yay! Thanks for joining me for your reading again. And I hope you have a good morning, afternoon, or night whenever you're watching. Bye.